can't believe how rad that car is, can you? That is a sick, blacked out, murdered out Black Bandit Ford Crown Victoria with limo tint. Telling you what, green light, they smash it when they want to. But that's not what this video is. What's that out yonder? Some of the most beautiful diecast ever produced on behalf of the United States. So let's get at it and let's take a look. We'll start back here in this corner. Please excuse the Ford trucks in the background. They are not part of this. We have the Dirty Christine and the regular Christine. It's a nice little pair of die-cast cars. We have the Max Wedge Dodge Polara and the civilian model Dodge Polara. The one car of all of these that doesn't roll, the 1966 Chevelle in navy blue. One of the, arguably maybe even the, best looking car of this Auto World collection is this Ford Galaxy. Couple of Corvettes. I mistakenly painted the wheels on the copper. I don't know. Some might say it looks better. I'm not one. If the paint job would have come out right, it would have. Here's a very early license premium release. We have another one of those we'll be taking a look at. The Ford GT40 with the Gulf Deco. Instant classic, this casting is. Everybody should have one of those. All right, we're going to work our way down the dried up riverbed. Next up, we have the wagons. We have this Buick Estate wagon. The newly acquired, never before seen on this channel, Buick Estate wagon with the wood panel. This is the first time Auto World has released it with the wood paneling. I just acquired that in my mailbox today. I like both, but I think it just looks better with the wood panel. Over here we have the Chevrolet Kingswood Estate wagons. Civilian Deco wood panel, lead sled, Weekend Warrior, and then we have the alternate color for the lead sled Weekend Warrior in black. And then, of course, we have the Ford Country Squire. Auto World's least popular and probably least desirable station wagon. And then out yonder, we have what I believe is a 1964. I could be wrong about that. but it is a mid-1960s Plymouth Barracuda and a late 1960s Pontiac Trans Am, which, by the way, this Trans Am casting is totally bitchin'. It is sick. Everything about it, the stance, the color, the details, it is awesome. Well, we'll go up the embankment here and work our way back down. We've got the Dodge Dart Swinger with the Mopar deco and your civilian vinyl top deco. That car is a very, very hard car to find. And we'll be taking a look at a couple others that are nearly impossible to find. Here is a 1962 Chevy Impala. Any of you can find this car. I would suggest, if you are interested in grabbing one of these Impalas, go to your Hobby Lobby, because it is on the shelf at your Hobby Lobby right now. And it's in the 6-car acrylic display case. We have some 1966 Chevrolet Impalas. We have some 1973 and 74 Plymouth Roadrunners. This gunmetal gray with the red tampo is the other car that is near impossible to find. If this is a car you are looking at purchasing, I would say plan on between 50 and 70. That's about what that car is going to cost you. You might find it for less. You might find someone who doesn't know what they have. I've seen that happen a couple times. People posting it for $14.99 and the first person that sees it buys it because the seller just didn't know what they had. Otherwise, though, you might find a loose one for $30 or $40, but mint in the package, probably right around $60. They have this Ford Mustang GT. We have this Mercury Comet Cyclone GT. That is the same tooling that they use for the Caliente. And then here we have this beautiful Corvette Callaway. This is the alternate color to the yellow one from the beginning of the video. And then we have a couple of awesome looking Dodge Challengers. We have one RT and one TA. So that's your Trans Am. And that's your RT. One of my top 3 Auto World castings right here, the Mach 1 Ford Mustang here. We've got the red, we've got the silver with the champagne tint. Probably my favorite. We have this Pluto looking outer space green color that also looks pretty bitchin'. This one here is a hobby exclusive think they only made around 2,000 of these, but it looks really good. I was actually quite happy to get an example of this car that doesn't have the hood graphic. Now I just need to get one that doesn't have a spoiler. But those are really hard to find as well. And then of course here we have it in black and red, both of which look absolutely amazing. Just a gorgeous casting from Auto World. And it's really tough, you know, to decide which one is my favorite. And then here we have a fantastic looking Pontiac Trans Am in red with the classy looking white interior. Here we have silver with black interior, and here we have green with black interior. The first 4 years or so that Auto World produced cars, every single casting that they produced, without exception, had a black interior. It wasn't until a couple years in that we started seeing blue interior, red interior, different color interiors. I think it really started with the black cars having red interiors. And then later on, we started seeing red cars with red interiors, green cars with green, and it just makes the car look better. It's more realistic. So I think it's kind of cool to see a really nice red color. I'd say this is probably cherry red with the soft white interior. And to stay realistic, they kept the dash black. But this is a great looking Trans Am. Probably my favorite. And usually my favorite are the silver, but in this case, it's definitely the red. And with the Mustang, it's tough because I like the silver. But man, I love all of them. The black one looks so good. It's almost impossible to pick with the Mustangs. So continuing on down, we have a 1970 Chevy Impala. We have that Ford Mustang GT again. Did we already look at these? I guess we're down to the Cadillacs. So we have the Eldorados. I've only got 3 examples of the Eldo. I've got it here in black. Just a beautiful piece. I have it here in this off-white color, which is also a beautiful piece and highly accurate. This is probably, if you were to see one of these driving down the road today, in all likelihood, it would probably be this color. Don't think we're going to see any of these Eldorados driving down the street, though. This isn't really a car that people are looking back saying, hey, I want to restore one of those. We're just not there with this car yet. And who knows if we ever will be. This color here with the metallic flake is a stunner. And from there, we get into the DeVilles. awesome looking Cadillac DeVilles here. We have this aqua color with the aqua leather interior. Got the dish hubcaps, white vinyl top. Here we have black. This was the first time we saw this car. It was available here in this black color. With the white vinyl top. I'm going to get this to focus. Just a ton of detail. All of that detail is painted. No extra pieces. It's not like M2 and Greenlight where the bumper is added, the taillight assemblies are added. This is all one piece, all part of the mold, and all painted detail. The alternate color from this inaugural release of the DeVille was this cream color over here with the white vinyl top. And this is probably the most common color that this car was produced in. I'm not basing that off of any kind of statistical fact, other than the fact that I recall seeing way more of this color on the roads than any other color. But here we have blue with a blue top, and it doesn't look like a vinyl top to me. So a different shade of blue. It almost looks like a mistake by Auto World. Look at that, because the front half of the car is one shade of blue. Well, I guess it's just the top. But it is odd to me. It looks odd. I don't ever recall seeing one of these that looked like this. But the execution is just stellar. These Eldorados, or these DeVilles rather, are among some of the most favorite cars that I have in my entire collection. These are right there with a lot of the premium detailed Toyotas that I have. They are right up there along with a lot of the Kyosho and Tomica limited vintage stuff that I have. I just love these DeVilles. And here is what might be the most valuable DeVille of any of them ever produced that are not chase cars. This is the one of the two Toys R Us exclusives, the more desirable blue color. Also came out as a Toys R Us exclusive in a silver color, which I need to get. I used to have it. I need to get it. So anyways, there you go. That's my Auto World collection. 48 cars. I had my collection built up at one point to 130. And then I needed some cash, so I sold a large portion of it, which is where my silver Toys R Us exclusive DeVille went. It was included in that sale. And I sold, so of the 130, I sold 100 of them. And I have worked my way back up to 49, and I'll continue to climb my way back up. And I'll do that with zero anticipation of having to sell in the future. Because you can write this down. You heard it here on this channel first. In 15 years, these cars right here are going to be the most valuable 1/64 scale diecast cars of any of the American brands. That might already be the case anyways, but when you compare the secondary market pricing for Auto World and compare it to M2 and Greenlight and even Johnny Lightning, I think these cars right here are going to pull the most amount of money. And the reason I say that, there's two reasons. Number one, best fit and finish and build quality. And number two, limited production. Very limited production. There are far less of these produced than there are green lights. These are produced at the numbers that green lights used to be produced at. Greenlight used to only make about 3,000 of each casting. And right now they're doing right around 10. In some cases, more than that. But there you go. This is a beautiful assortment of cars. I'm very happy and proud to have these 49 cars in my collection. Of all of the cars that I have in my collection, Greenlight, Kyosho, I am a premium detailed collector. All of my Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars are in tubs. I do collect them, but they go straight in a little plastic bag and straight in a tub. All of my premium detail stuff, mostly Greenlight, but also Tomoka Limited Vintage, Kyosho, Konami, Aoshima, Auto Art, some Johnny Lightning, some M2, Ertl, American Muscle, all of that stuff gets displayed in my house. But Auto World, this stuff right here, I keep boxed up. And part of why I do that is because I just want them out of sight, out of mind, because I know these are going to be the valuable cars to have down the road. You can already see it with some of them. I mean, this gray Roadrunner, $60. That blue Dodge Dart, 30, maybe 40. If you're lucky, you might find it for 20 or 25. Some of them, I don't know what those are going for these days. I think the Dirty Christine is around 20. This is the original Christine. It's come out a couple times since. The way that you can tell is that Auto World stamps a production date on the base. So if your production date on your Christine is November of 2013, then you have one of the originals, which was from the licensed premium series. It's come out a couple times as hobby exclusive the last couple years, but those will have a different production date. Another misconception out there is that the licensed premium cars were of a better quality than the premium cars, and that is not the case. The licensed premium, the only difference, it was basically a packaging license. That's all it was. It was so that they could get license rights to magazines like Car and Driver, and Hemmings. Now the packaging was better, although I like the premium packaging better because I would prefer the cardboard box. But with the licensed premium, you got a acrylic case. But the actual quality of the cars themselves, there was no difference in quality or detail. So it's definitely a great brand to collect. I would recommend strongly to all you collectors of premium detailed diecast. If you don't collect Auto World, you should definitely start. And this is a not unsolicited opinion on Auto World. I have my criticisms of Auto World. I've been critical mostly of their wheels and their lack of selection. But when it comes to the cars, they are as good as it gets for American diecast. And they're not far behind brands like Tomica Limited Vintage and Kyosho. So there you go. Go get you some. Y'all have a good night.